What exactly does the verb get mean? Well, the Oxford Learner's Dictionary alone provides more than 200 definitions: understand, obtain, feel, receive, buy, and it's even used to express impatience and frustration. But learning all those definitions will take forever. So, if you combine a verb with a preposition, you get a phrasal verb. I'm sure you already know some. I guess you know you can say you get in a car, but you get on a bus. Do you? And then you get out of the car, but you get off the bus. I'm already confused. We better get down to business. In today's video, I'll break down 15 super useful phrasal verbs with get that you can start using in your daily conversations right away. Welcome back to Break the English Ice. Welcome if you're new here. I'm teacher Cosette and let's get started. Number 1, get in. One of the meanings of get in is to manage to enter a place by using force or a trick. For example, the thieves must have got in through the kitchen window. Or you can also say, the thieves must have got into through the kitchen window. Or you need a personal code to get into the building. I'll go through some other interesting meanings of the phrasal verb get into, but for that, I'm afraid you'll have to wait till the very end of the video. Get in is also an informal way to say arrive. For example, what time is your flight expected to get in? Or, my friend's train gets in at 4 o'clock. Get in can also mean to be admitted to a school or university. For example, she wanted to go to Harvard, but she didn't get in. Did you know that get in also means to win an election? For example, will the Democrats get in at the next election? Or, will Donald Trump keep his promises when he gets into office? Number 2, get on. One of the meanings of get on is to have or not to have a good relationship with someone. For example, I don't get on with all my colleagues. Or, my best friend and I haven't been getting on recently. You can also use get along with the same meaning. For example, I don't get along with all my colleagues, but it's fine. Or, Karen and Steven have been married for more than 20 years and they still get along very well. However, did you know that get along can also mean to deal with a situation usually successfully? For example, Alex is getting along pretty well at his new job, meaning that Alex is doing very well at his new job. By the way, we have already covered phrasal verbs get in and get on. Remember at the beginning of the video we mentioned that you get in a car but you get on a bus? Well, if you struggle with the use of prepositions in, on, or at, I have a video covering highly confusing phrases using prepositions in, on, out. You can check it out after this one. Number 3, getting on. This is kind of a combination of number 1 and number 2. Get in and get on, and then you get getting on. Well, getting on means to start to take part in an activity that is already happening, and usually because you're going to get or win some kind of advantage from it. For example, if you want to getting on the investment opportunity, you need to act fast, meaning if you want to get involved in the investment opportunity. For example, I have a friend who's an influencer and she's always the first one to getting on the latest trends. For number 4, we have get around in the US or get about in the UK, but both of them are absolutely correct. These ones can have 2 meanings. Number 1, to travel to a lot of places. For example, one of my friends is a digital nomad. She really gets around. Last week she was in Norway and this week she's in Germany. And number 2, to move from one place to another, especially with or without difficulty. For example, my grandma gets around with the help of a stick. You can also use it in a different context. For example, you can say, It's hard to get around the city driving a car, especially during the rush hour. Did you know that you can also get around somebody in the US or get round somebody in the UK? Well, that means to persuade someone to agree with something or to agree to do something that you want to do, usually by doing nice things for them. So it implies some kind of manipulation. For example, she always gets what she wants. She knows how to get around her parents. However, get around something means to deal with a problem successfully, so to overcome some kind of difficulty. For example, they were able to get around the problem by using a different strategy. For number 5, we have get ahead. And this one means to make progress, usually further than others have done, or just to be successful in the work that you do. Let's look at some examples. If you want to get ahead in your career, it's important to keep learning new skills. She worked extra hours to get ahead on the project and impress her boss. He managed to get ahead the competition by offering unique ideas. Number 6 is get behind, and I'll break down 2 different meanings. Number 1, to fail to make enough progress or to produce something at the right time. For example, I've been so busy lately that I'm starting to get behind on my video editing. She got behind on her bills and had to ask for an extension. If you get behind on the project, let me know and I can help you catch up. And number 2, you can also get behind somebody or something, and that means that you support or help somebody or something. For example, everyone got behind Sarah when she started her fundraising campaign. The entire team got behind the new project and everyone worked hard to make it a success. So number 7 is get by, and it means to be able to live or deal with a difficult situation, especially when you have barely enough money to survive or to manage to do something using what you have, which is usually not enough. Let's put it in some example sentences. With the new budget cuts, we should find new ways to get by with less money. As long as we get by with the essentials, we should be fine until payday. She didn't have much experience, but she was able to get by in her new job. For number 8, get away, I'm going to go through 3 different meanings. Number 1, to have a holiday or to take a short vacation or a short break. For example, I really need to get away from the noisy city and spend some time in nature. Or we're really hoping to get away for a few days at Easter. Number 2, get away from a place or to succeed in leaving a place. For example, it's so hard to get away from the office before 5 o'clock when there's always something urgent to do. And number 3, get away with something, meaning avoid punishment for having done something wrong. For example, everyone thinks he's guilty of the robbery, but it looks like he's going to get away with it. The teacher said that nobody would get away with plagiarism. Number 9, get up to something. When you get up to something, it means that you do something or you engage in an activity, often something naughty or something that people would disapprove. For example, he's been acting strangely lately. What do you think he's getting up to? Or the kids were very quiet, so I wondered what they were getting up to in the other room. Or, I can't believe what you got up to at the party last night, meaning I can't believe what you got involved in. Number 10, get rid of something. So if you get rid of something, it means that you throw it away because it's not useful or because you don't need it anymore. For example, I need to get rid of all these clothes that I never wear. Or I've decided to get rid of broken furniture to make more space in the living room. Did you know that you can also get rid of someone? Look at these examples. They finally managed to get rid of the unwanted guests who wouldn't leave the party. Or it's not always easy to get rid of toxic people in your life, but sometimes it's necessary. The manager decided to get rid of someone someone in the team who wasn't performing well. Number 11 is get back. So get back can be used to say return something or return to a place. For example, I never lend any of my books because I never get them back. Or the traffic was so bad that it took me 2 hours to get back home. However, when you get back at someone, it means you get revenge. So you want to punish that person because they have done something wrong to you. For example, she wanted to get back at him for breaking her heart, so she showed up with another man. He was angry after the prank, so he promised to get back at his friends. I really don't believe in getting back at people. I think it's better to move on and let it go. Number 12 is get across. We're almost getting to the end. So to get something across means to explain something clearly or to communicate an idea successfully. So you can get your point across or you can get your message across. Look at these examples. Even though I did my best to get my point across, he just wouldn't listen. The manager struggled to get his point across during the meeting because of the interruptions. It's important to get across the message that everyone's opinion matters in the discussion. Number 13. Get over. You can get over something or you can get over someone, and that means to overcome a difficult or unpleasant situation such as an illness, the end of a relationship, or even the loss of a loved one. Look at these examples. It's hard to get over a breakup, but time helps heal the pain. It took me a long time to get over the loss of my childhood dog. I really hope I can get over my fear of public speaking, with more practice, of course. Number 14, get through. Easy, right? Well, I'm gonna give you 5 different meanings. Number 1, to succeed in talking to someone on the phone or even reaching someone by email. For example, I tried to talk to her several times, but I couldn't get through. Number 2, to succeed in an exam or competition, so to do well. For example, after a tough season, the team has got to the final. She was able to get through all her exams without too much trouble. Number 3, to be able to finish something. We need to get through this project before the deadline, so let's stay focused. Number 4, to be officially accepted or to make something be officially accepted. For example, despite all the difficulties, they finally got the bill through Congress. And here bill means a law that is being planned or discussed. And number 5, to deal with a difficult or unpleasant experience or to help someone do so. For example, it was difficult to get through the tough times, but we managed to stay together. And finally, number 15, as promised, get into something. So I'll break down 5 different meanings of get into. Number 1, to get into an activity means to become interested or get involved in it. For example, I'm really getting into gardening these days, or I've been getting into learning new languages lately. Number 2, to put on a piece of clothing, especially with difficulty. Oops, I can't get into this dress. It seems I've put on some weight. Number 3, to develop a particular habit. You should get into the routine of practicing English at least 20 minutes a day. Number 4, to become familiar with something or to learn something. I haven't got into video editing yet. I'm still struggling. You can probably tell. And number 5, to become involved in a situation, usually without intention. For example, after losing my job, I got into debt. Aha! I bet you didn't know that. Wow, that was a lot. If you made it till the very end of the video, please leave me a comment below with the phrasal verb get into. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe if you're not already and give the video a thumbs up if you learned something new. See you in the next one. Bye!